Hello. Wanted to give you a video, show you what's going on. We put the dog over into Storm's old fence for the afternoon while we're sitting here, and Betty does not like him. Let's see if I can get a close-up of. She wants to fight that dog. Look at her. She's fanning like a tom turkey. Gunther, you gotta move your tail, buddy. First he wanted to fight with her, and then she got aggressive, and he wants to run away. So every time he runs away, the turkey chases after him. And these are the guinea hens we got yesterday. Those are coral blue, and the dark ones are royal purple.
He just went over.
Okay, he just took off, and now Betty's back over, coming back this way. You had enough, Betty, where you're intimidating the dog? No, I think you're going back for more. That's pretty funny. The guineas are pretty quiet for being new. Usually they don't like certain things moving and that, and it doesn't seem to bother them being out here with the turkeys and chickens. Alright, Betty, you're behind me, so I guess I'm going to stop this video for now. Join us again.
Oh, there she's moving out.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
There's Betty. Hang on.
You still got the video on?
Yeah, the video's still on.
She walked over here.
Here comes Wilma and Gertrude.
Gunther's in love with Trudy.
Yeah. He's starting to get along with them other two really good, so hopefully they'll all breed and we'll have some eggs. We got one egg yesterday, turkey egg, and then the table we had it set on collapsed and it broke it.
We bought it from Lowe's, and the whole table.
Yeah, I told her when we bought the table I didn't like the looks of the legs, and they aren't working too good. So.
And the whole table slid, and everything on it slid with it.
Trudy, I just gave you fresh water over there, and you're drinking that nasty water. I'm gonna have to dump that water.
Yeah, I know we do. I thought they were.
Every time I put, they'll eat snow when I pour them fresh water too. Over there's the fresh water where the guineas are.
We didn't pour both fresh because it was like we came out, we sat, and then we said.
Got to hook that garden hose up tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's 60 degrees today, and I've been doing everything to keep these unloading feed, and I had to fix a tire on the lawn tractor because it was flat, and had to put some goop in there so that when you pumped it up, that sealed the tire, because I was tired of putting air in it every time I was going to use the tractor. And then I've got to get this old rabbit cage out of there because I've got chickens and everything else that wants to sit on top of it, and the birds need the room to move. Got a bunch of pans that I've got to flip over and wash out so I can give them mash and that outdoors.
And I'm making deals with them.
What kind of deals are you making with me?
Because you're still recovering, and I said, maybe you can fold laundry while I pick up sticks outside.
Well, I've got to pick up sticks. I got that gripper thing, so I don't have to do a lot of bending. I can
Yeah,
still walk
but
with
that's
it.
a lot for you, honey.
Yeah, well, I got to do it. I got to keep moving.
I know, but you do
Got
a lot
so much-
anyway.
Got so much to get done in so little time.
Well, we're also going to build a habitat for the new pheasants.
Yep. We'd show you the new pheasants. We got 6 of them, but they're all brown except for the roosters that are getting just a little bit of orange on them. They're not fully colored because they're so young. They're full-grown size, but they haven't got their. They don't normally get their full color till their 2nd year.
If you're new and didn't get to see the other videos yet, they're golden.
Golden and yellow golden pheasants. And if you're wondering what color they're going to be, just type in red golden pheasant or yellow golden pheasant, and pictures of them will come up, and you'll be able to see what they're going to look like when they're full grown. Turkeys keep going in and out of the barn, so I think somebody's probably going to lay an egg.
Everything went really high at the auction yesterday too.
Yeah,
Everything was.
the-
The numbers were high.
Yeah, I bought the pheasants for about $30 a pair.
I mean, you used to be able to buy a bunny for $2, and it was like what? So one of them went for like one bunny went for $8. The next one went for 32. Remember that?
Yeah, it was
It was like-
outrageous.
It was like
And the turkeys went for
12
$17, $12. I should have got some, but they were all toms, and I didn't need a fight between Gunther and any new toms, because if they're fighting, they're not breeding.
But
So
usually a turkey might go for $40. So that was
well,
like
we
what?
usually go 40 to 75.
So that was like really a steal.
This fall, the turkeys will go high.
So you never know with auctions. What it all depends on the
Depends on
crowd.
what you're after too.
Yeah. And we thought they'd be loaded with Brahmas.
They didn't have any Brahmas there.
The reason we thought that is
You'll see that this fall.
yeah, we the only reason we thought that is we didn't know anything about it, but Tractor Supply ordered a bunch of them, and we had already ordered ours, and we haven't even seen Brahmas in this area. Then we went to Tractor Supply, and they had a whole bunch, and we were like, oh, go the
That's the first
auction.
we saw any Brahmas at the Tractor Supply.
Well, like
So this,
yeah.
with what they sold at Tractor Supply this year, this fall there'll be a bunch of them at the auction. So if we
Well,
need an extra hen, we'll probably have to buy it that way.
Remember the year of the Silkies? There was tons of Silkies.
Oh yeah, well, the year we raised silkies, they were flooded at the auction. Everybody was bringing out silkies in.
Well, tell about the cutting of the duck's tail and the eggs. That people might not know that if they're newbies to auctions.
Well, most people can't tell the difference between a male and a female duck. Now the ducks, the females will have a real deep voice, and the drakes will sound like they got laryngitis. It'll be like a and that's a drake. They'll have a little curl on the tail, but if you go to the auction, you can't always go by that because some wily people cut that curl off, trying to pass it off as a hen to people that don't know any different. So that might help you with your knowing a male and a female duck.
But
Most of your ruined ducks, the males have a green head and the hens are brown.
But they talk about
But it's hard to tell with a white.
But they might have a curly tail, and what do
I
they
just
do?
said they cut the tail.
Oh, I
already
didn't
told.
hear that. I'm sorry.
They cut that curl off the tail so that they make it you think that it's a female and it's not. So there's just a couple of,
Or they put eggs.
and with the guinea hens, a lot of people will sell them in a pair, but they won't be a male and a female. Because you can't, unless you're kind of an old hat at guinea hens, you really can't tell what you're getting unless you listen to their voices. Now the female will have a 2-syllable call, and she'll sound like she's saying buckwheat, 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 where the male has a 1-syllable call, and he'll just go the same sound. But the hens will it'll sound like buckwheat or come here, come here. Gertrude, leave that thing alone. These turkeys are curious animals, really curious animals.
I was thinking about the eggs, how they put eggs in.
Oh, and if you
Yeah.
go to an auction and the birds are in a box, the chickens are in a box, they'll throw an egg in there and say, "Oh, the chicken's laying eggs." Well, it may not have been to that. They just threw the egg in there to make it look like the chickens are laying eggs. So auctions are, you got to be leery and you got to know what you're doing when you're going to buy.
It depends on. Oops, there's a little. Well, I also remember yesterday too. About 4 animals got loose. Chickens.
Yeah. They caught them.
The crowd.
They caught them. It was no big deal.
So if you're afraid of chickens, you better think.
Oh yeah, be careful when you.
So the more you go, the more stories you have, right?
Oh, we like to go just
I
to
love
sit there and
going.
enjoying it. I didn't expect to buy any pheasants. I was pretty out of all that extracurricular stuff, but I mean, there's times that you feel like you got to have something. I'm getting ready to retire, so I need something I could just sit and watch. And the pheasants are really beautiful anyway, so if we have them a season or two, we'll have them a season or two.
I want the feathers if I can get some of them.
Oh, they'll shed feathers.
Yeah, we don't have
they
to kill
molt.
them.
They molt just like a chicken.
We won't kill them for the feathers. We'll just
No, you
when
don't.
they fall out.
The pheasants are worth more alive than they are dead.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a couple of tidbits if you ever go to an bird auction that you can learn a lot from just sitting there and observing. Don't get bitter fever when they say, "Oh, do I hear $10 for this bird?" If you wait a few seconds, the price will come down, and then when somebody takes the bid, it'll go up slowly, but it may not go to $10 or $50 or whatever they start them out at. So don't get antsy just because you like that bird and you want it. Sit on your hands for a few minutes.
Remember the $10 guy that was sitting in the corner? Everyone
Oh
else was
yeah,
paying? Tell about him.
I think
which is good.
I think they were his animals.
Oh, they were his animals.
And he would bid them up to $10 and he'd drop out. So he would at least make some. I could have done the same thing with the birds I took yesterday, but I don't feel that's being fair. I brought them up there to get rid of them. I'm not going to bid on my own stuff unless I want it back, which you take anything auction, you don't want it back. You want to get rid of it. That's what they, for excess.
You still have to pay the auction fees and everything.
And you got to pay 25 cents on a dollar for them to bid it off, and then you got to pay 10 cents on the dollar if you're buying. So they got you coming and going. At least it was 10 cents last time, and it might be a quarter now.
And once it goes on the auction block, you can't come up and say, "I don't want to do this."
No.
You're in.
You put it in the auction. It's in the auction. Stay. You'll have to bid it up and buy it back, or you'll have to. Now you'll have to do. If you buy it back, all you have to pay for is the selling and the buying. So it'd be 35 cents on a dollar to buy it back. So. All right. I just figured you'd like to hear some of that stuff and maybe get a watch of what's going on with these turkeys and new guinea hens. And we bought bought 12 baby golden sea brights. Let's see if I can show you a sea bright. She's over here behind it's over here. That's a golden sea bright, and behind that little silver rooster. And we got 12 babies of those, so hopefully we'll get some roosters out of them. I'm pretty much like the sea brights anyways. Looks like my movie's moving slow, so. All right, we'll let you go and come back and visit us again. Bye-bye.